Okay, hello. Welcome to the stream today, everyone. Still doing some more Fallout 4 settlement building um, in my Spectacle Island build. so I've been doing a little bit of building off screen, so I'll cover some of that. I try to keep these sessions into little bite-sized sessions because, I'll end up building for 3 hours or whatever, but I doubt people want to be along while I try to figure stuff out and talk to myself. Or maybe you do. I don't know. If you do, leave me a comment and I'll try to stream every time I build. But sometimes I just build. That way I don't have to worry about entertaining while I build. I'm just getting some coffee in me. So I'll show you some of the things that I've added. And right now I have a problem. I think there might be just a little bit too much going on because, as you can see, I get a nice smooth frame rate here, and then the second I turn here I get some dips. So I'm wondering, should I be okay with the dips, or should I take out some of the unnecessary building materials? So for example, this building right here is hollow. There's nothing in it. Same thing with this building right here. Now they do add to the size of the metropolis. However, there's nothing in them, so there's really no point in having them here other than making it look like there's more buildings in the city. I also have the option of making them slightly shorter, which maybe I'll start there and then move on to disassembling them because this building is now fully occupied. Same thing with the white building. And let's go tour that right now. I actually think some of this is pretty cool. I wanted to do this before, like I said, but my PC was choking on the old build. I still have to do wallpaper decorations and adding doors and stuff like that, but for the most part, the bones are here. So we'll go up to the second floor. This is the one where I just made cubicles, and I'm going to have to put up wallpaper for the cubicles. And then another office here. So we'll head upstairs. And we'll go to the second floor. So each floor actually does have, I don't believe I actually skipped any floors in this building. So this one's going to have a little bit more private offices, I guess. And then I believe the third floor, yes, the third floor will flip us around. Oh, I got to add something here. It's always a good idea to walk through your settlement because, you're building and sometimes you just forget to add. So this is like where we're starting to get into the contemporary stylings of the game. So this would be a contemporary office floor with, decent sized corner offices. We're on the third floor, so we're going to go to the fourth floor. Or, well, not the fourth floor, but fourth floor for that elevator. So up here's another kind of contemporary look. And then we've got, oh, you know what? Another nice big size corner office here. And then up here, I figured this would kind of be like a combination of like, either I would put a cafeteria up here, or this would be an entirely like executive management type suite, in which case I might even add a second level to these offices. But for now, this is the way it is. And is this elevator active? It should be. Why is there no power to this elevator? I thought I powered this elevator up. Well, again, this is why we do walkthroughs. So maybe I can power this elevator up real quick. It's taking a little bit of time for it to There we go. Okay, so probably the quickest way out would be. This is the problem with having two-sided everything. All right, there we go. And then when you turn off the collision, obviously you can't interact with anything, so gotta turn it back on. All right, so where's that elevator? It's right here. So I gotta send up. Oh no, it's right here. So I gotta send up something to here. So we'll add some conduit. I prefer working with conduit. It just makes the power lines look a little neater. I don't, because of how the settlement transfer mod works, I don't use a whole lot of conduit for vertical sends. It doesn't seem to like them, although that may be fixed now. I don't know. So okay, so that's facing down that way. So what we'll do is we'll create another. Yeah, we'll send it up here. So we'll do a. Actually, technically, I don't even need to do a conduit here, do I? I just need one of these. Make sure that's sitting somewhat level. And then, what is it? I think it's a maximum of 3 floors that the cable can reach. Yeah. Which will be fine, because then where's our elevator power spots? Right here. Okay. Then we will add a. So we're gonna take away this wall. Take away that section. Let's do. Take away the floor too, because it's gonna have to. I think that's aimed right. Looks like it. It's a problem with some of these semi-transparent pieces is you just don't know if it's. That should be enough. That'll look a little awkward, I suppose, but well, not really. It's the bottom of an elevator. I mean, that's supposed to be pretty. I suppose I could put a half wall there instead of the full length one. Back you go. And back you go. All right. There we go. We've got our elevator. Oops. Okay. Save that real quick. Just in case crashed the desktop. It's been happening. Yes. You know, Microsoft put out an update for Windows 10, and I run Windows 10 Enterprise, which allows me to hold off on, or well, not Windows 10 Enterprise, Windows 10 Pro, and it allows you to tell Microsoft, no, I don't want to be your update guinea pig because I'm a business. In my opinion, it is well worth the extra cost of the operating system. Plus, it allows you to do other enterprise level things with like file sharing and Active Directory, just various things that I like to be able to do. So anyways, as you can see, now we are in the neighboring building. And this is actually the only way to get up to the apartment on the top now. I completely severed the the bottom of this building from the top. You can no longer get up there from the bottom floor. You have to go up through the red building, which I think actually, even though it's the same distance up, the variety in what you have to do to get up makes it a little less tedious. Because before, I think you had to take 12 of these elevators to get up here, and you still have to take quite a few elevators, but the ones where it's just elevator to elevator to elevator to elevator are reduced. So I think we're actually coming up on the second to the last one here. Oh no, this is the last one. So we're already up here. So to me, it seemed to make it a little less tedious. I could be wrong, but here's the reimagined upstairs. You can see there's a lot more just right off the bat. The reimagined entrance, it's definitely cleaner, I think. There's a lot more foliage. Put a gate here. Some additional lighting. Landscaping. So, and then I did change around some things in here. I added some extra decoration pieces. Changed up this hallway a bit by changing this stairway. So where it used to be like the stairway that you see in the houses where it's got the corner that's exposed, I closed out the corner. It makes it look a little bit less open, but at the same time, by closing off that section, I was able to make this look like it's actually intended to be a separate hallway rather than, oh, look, this room just bleeds into this one. This is pretty much the same. Still got the piano, the fireplace, and the furniture. The dining room has hardly changed. I added some music player here. Still got the downstairs bathroom. Need to put a light in there. I was able to swap out the stairs. So before I was using something that looked industrial. Now I have wood, because of some of the new pieces that are in the Snappy Builds kit. And then I just kind of mirrored that staircase over here. Now one of the things is since I'm using less mods to build, obviously I don't have as much furniture at my disposal. So while I do have a furniture mod for couches and chairs, they don't have any beds that are included in that mod. So I'm stuck with kind of the default. So this is kind of this weird, got this ultra nice looking furniture, and then I've got this standard bed, but whatever. I mean, like I said, I'm trying to use less mods so that the mods are more, or so that these builds are easier for people to download who don't necessarily want to take up their entire mod list with building mods, and they have no interest in building. So that's where the compromise is. There's a lot less variety in the decoration. I'm holding myself to only a certain amount of mods. So here is this bathroom. And then over here, I suppose this was kind of like its own separate waiting room because of this elevator here. And I guess that's kind of the function that it serves now, but I can't decide if I like it. I kind of do. But at the same time, it's kind of weird. Like, you got to go through your bathroom to get to the elevator. I don't know if I'll keep it that way. I may put the bathroom like in this corner and extend the bedroom out this way. I'm still deciding whether or not I want to do that. We'll see. Who knows? That's a lot of work. Complete. So here's a tip, guys. On these builds, usually you can just reach over here and click that, but for some reason it's not wanting to be clickable. So what I do is I actually just walk to the other side and then hit that button, and it doesn't work. Okay, let's try it again. There we go. So usually these side buttons are clickable. but they've been being weird lately, and I'm not sure why. So let's go down, and this hasn't really changed. So this is the first floor. That's that hallway that I was talking about. And then, so here's under the house, and this is like where you can keep all of your weapons, 2 things of power armor, and it's a bunch of inventory. Oh, I didn't even know I had ammunition. Ammo boxes. What the heck? Weapon racks, and then just random stuff. So that's there. Now, that's because I had assumed that most people who were going to play this would want this as their player home up here. However, obviously, it is a bit of a trek to get here. And if all you're coming home to do is repair or change power armor or whatever, then that's a big deal. 2 solutions to that. One, you can just put the teleport mat up here, which I was thinking about doing that anyway, but then people who don't want to use this as their home, it would be obnoxious. But that's an option that's available, and most people, I believe, know how to move the teleportation map to wherever they want it. So right now it's out by the dock, but if you wanted it up here, you could easily do that. So that's one solution. Another one is if you were using another building to make as a player home, we could simply, I don't know how interested people are in building, but if there's another room that people are using more or whatever, just let me know and be like, hey, could you add an armory to the matter of fact, that might actually be one of the projects for today, is adding an armory room like that to the big glass building, which is another massive player home that I built. It might be a good idea, because the one up there, it takes a while to get to. So we're going back down, and then the only other thing that's new, gotta put another side on this door too. The only other thing that's new that I built off screen is, so I added I gotta add another side to that wall too. I'm getting sloppy in my old age. It's it's ridiculous. I added a lab area to the big white building, so we can go look at that. They put doors on here. And one thing really that takes up just a ton of power, but it makes everything look so good, is the lighting. And because it takes up so much power, and I'm actually adding to this build, and I realize not everybody's running an i9 with 32 gig of RAM and all that kind of stuff. So what I might do to take a bite out of some of the performance hit is take some of these lights, because this building right here, I would imagine, is hardly used, and it's one of the most illuminated buildings in the build. Like, there's just a ton of lighting in here. I think it makes it look good, but lighting is one of the harder hits that the processor takes, because especially if it's shadow casting light. I know some of these mods have an option to remove shadows. I don't like to do it because I like the way lighting makes everything look. But there is an option to do that. So like you can see, I added a ton of lighting down here since the last time we looked at this build. And I think it really gives it a good feel. This light's in the wrong spot. Hello. There we go. You are supposed to be here. I hate using controller. It's so imprecise. There we go. All right. And then, of course, here. Some more cozy lighting. Gotta finish this shack too. So yeah, you know, once you add all the lights in, you start getting effects like that because it's just too much. You know, that, and there's probably 5,000 pieces behind that it still animates. That's one thing about this engine is that it still builds everything that's behind something. So even though that wall right there is obstructing my view of everything behind it, the engine has loaded everything behind it because there's no way for it to know not to do that. Like there's a couple like field of vision mods in various games. Like I know there's one in GTA, especially on PC, because GTA, it's so hilarious. GTA is what is it now? A 7-year-old game? It's 2013. Yeah. It's a 7-year-old game, and my new computer still chokes on it, and I'm way above the recommended specs for GTA. It's just this massive. So there's a field of view mod that what it does is it takes everything. So your character's standing, like right here, right. So you have a field of vision, and it's a certain radius. It's not 180 degrees. It's probably more like, I would guess that it's 90, but like in a V shape. So rather than it looking like so from your person, if you draw a V from their eyes, that's probably your field of vision on this game, right? So everything that's outside of that field of vision, right? The 270 degrees or whatever it is, that's outside of that field of vision is not seen, right? So why does it need to be animated? Like, it could save so much. Like, you can see like this bogs down, but anyways, so I'm sorry, it was 290. What did I say? 227? Whatever. But of significant amount of 360 degrees is not seen. So what these field of view mods do is they tell the engine, hey, don't like load it in, but don't load the textures, right? Because it takes a while to load in all of the structure. But if you remove the textures, right, you're taking the edge off the graphic hit. And then as as it comes into view, load them in. Now it increases texture popping in certain areas, but your performance is so much better. And I think I don't know what the limitations of this engine are, whether or not that's possible, but it might not be a bad idea. How the game developers got around that in this game is fairly evident from the fact that there are one-sided textures everywhere. Most of the buildings that you see in the Boston skyline in the distance are one-sided textures. If you were to fly inside of those buildings, there would be nothing there. You could turn around and you could see everything that's outside of them. And that's how they're able to put so much there. But the problem here is that I decided, instead of making these buildings hollow, I made a couple of the buildings hollow. Like, this is a hollow building, right? This is what all the buildings in downtown Boston look like. There's some two-sided textures, but most of them are going to be, single-sided. My problem is I decided that I wanted to make these buildings occupiable. And so as a result, graphics are going to take a hit. Okay, so we need a light. Okay, we need more than just that. We need like a light like right here. I'll do that in a little bit. So here's what I did for this building, which I said was supposed to be like a scientific lab. So I turned it into this kind of a institute looking, but it's not the institute, or it can be. I don't care, whatever. So we'll go up here and we'll go to, I'm going to put this is going to be a locker room. And then obviously decontamination, and then we'll go up. And first floor. So here is where a lot of the workbenches are. Now there is a mod out there to replace these workbenches with like institute workbenches. I've used it in the past, but again, these are my light builds, so I am foregoing aesthetics for people who don't want to give up mod space, which is understandable. I mean, you got to get those Piper bikini mods. I get it, guys. So anyway, so here's kind of a workshop, and then I'm going to put another workshop on the end here. But in here, I decided I would put some really cool looking specimens that might be worked on, right? And then of course you'd come over here and do some more work, and need some lighting in here. And where did those doors go? I've opened and closed them before. Oh well. You don't want those to disappear. Oh well. I'll find them in a little bit. Yeah, so that's this floor, and then the rest of the floors haven't really decided if people are interested in expanding their labs or whatever. They're free to do so, but I figured it'd be kind of cool to, up here we'll put like a cryo lab area for study. And it's kind of funny because these count as chairs, so sometimes settlers will come up here and sit in there. And then up here in the cryo lab, we have access to the observation area via this elevator, which will take us upstairs, and then it will show us this, which is more computers and stuff. And I'm going to put some desks up here and all that kind of stuff. But oops. Close that door. And then yeah, it goes up further. So if you're a scientist and you've been burning the midnight oil, and you don't necessarily want to go through decontamination or whatever to go home, I put a bedroom facility, a dormitory, I don't know what you would call it, up here. So yeah, that is the interior of this building now. So now it's a lot more. Beforehand, it was kind of like a combination of high tech and what would have been contemporary. What would have been high tech before the bombs fell. So I didn't have necessarily any institute pieces in there, but I decided that I would just go ahead and do it this way, because creating the high-tech aesthetic didn't add any variety to the settlement. It just looked like everything else. So there's no There's no institute pieces in this settlement. Well, there are now, but there wasn't, so that's what I decided to go with because I like variety. So there we go. And right down here, and I will have to figure out a way to add lighting in here. But I think in order to do that, I'm gonna have to take away lighting from up here, which I am more than willing to do because this building doesn't have anything in it. What the heck's in here? Oh yeah. I was gonna make a basement and then never did. Yeah. Okay, so one thing I can see right away that can be changed is this. These bright lights just take up so much. And I'm running kind of, I don't know if I'm running low graphics right now, but I am not running ultra. And it's still starting to kind of give me a hard time. All right, so let's do this. Deco kit, lobby floors. Okay, so maybe we'll do just the non-decorated ones. And that way, like, the lack of lighting can look intentional. There, it already likes that a little bit more. So these two, I would be willing to trade these two, I think, for the center one. So what I'm going to do then is say, there we go. Boom. All right, so that, make sure all the bricks are facing the same way. I know that's a completely unnecessary step, but this flying mod needs a lift and, like, I don't know what you call it, going straight up and going straight down, because having to look up and then hit back on the stick or hit forward on the stick, it's just clumsy. Okay, I mean, I get it. It's not actually like a flying mod. It's the same thing that your character can do when you're in no clipping mode, which is why it's like that. But I'm pretty sure there's a vertical up and down when you're in floating camera mode. So maybe we could steal that somehow. I don't know. Okay, so there we go. There's the illuminated ones, and there's the non-illuminated ones. And is this one? No, that one's not the one that we want. What the heck? Where did the wood ones go? Are these ones not? Oh, these are new pieces. Ooh, that's cool looking. I guess these ones are just the blue ones that have the. Okay, fine. Blue, 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 blue. That should be this one. Yeah, yeah. See, we just don't need as much. We just don't need so much lighting. We just don't. Not for these buildings that are barely used. And they're cool buildings, but I'm gonna take the light floor out of here. And why is there a? Oh, there's not. Okay. All right, so make these rooms a little bit darker. Besides, I prefer the softer lighting anyway, so if I really wanted to, I could add some lights back in. That's an appropriate level. This light drives me nuts. It doesn't really do anything. It's obnoxious. Okay. We do not need 2 here. Let's take out this one. Of course, it doesn't want to fit where it's supposed to. Oops. Okay. All right. If I had to take out... There is a floor above this one. Okay. I was gonna put in a I was gonna put in a skylight, but then I was like, I think there's a floor above this one. Okay, so maybe this one will do that. And there we go. That I think is all right. Got this cool little courtyard out here, right? Completely forgot I built this. Learning all sorts of cool things. Well, I wonder if I should put a door here that comes out here. Save myself a little bit of... Yeah, why not? So instead of having 2 windows there, I will put 1. All right, we're gonna have to do it with shell kits. Boom. Boom. You're in the wrong spot. Stop it. I could make it a double door to make it look more inviting. Let's do that. There we go. I suppose technically we could make these windows. I guess it doesn't really matter. Or maybe it does. Maybe they moved them. Aha, they must have moved them. Okay. I don't know if there's a wallpaper for those ones. That's the problem. All right, I know what we can do because I know there's wallpapers for these. Okay, maybe not. What in the world? happened to my half wall windows? Okay. No. Wait. That might work. Especially if I can get like a dark enough color that looks like it blends in. Placeholder. Placeholder for now. Although I'm not thrilled about it. Nope. That's lame sauce. Oh well. We'll come back to that. Well, we don't worry about any lights out here. What are we up here? Okay, so this is... Wow, floating lamp. Well, let's fix that. Furniture. This guy makes good. Why are you not illuminated? There's plenty of electricity up here. Says it has power. Is it lying? Do you not have power? Do I need to run another cable just for this stupid lamp? Really? Okay. What happened here? Really? Still poking through. How in the world? Oh, that's a column. That's getting pushed down too. Okay. Some weird... Okay, no. Definitely don't need two right here. Matter of fact, both of these lights can go. Okay. I do want you facing a certain... I do need you to have a certain orientation. So, there we go. Okay, yeah, those lights don't need to be there. I would argue then that this one doesn't need to be here. And that looks like... Okay, so while it doesn't solve it completely, it does help. Let's see what we can do in this building. Okay, so we've got... let's take this one out. The other ones are kind of necessary. Oh, we are going to... Oh yeah, and these ones that are sticking through, we can just push those or pull them from the other side, so we'll do that. Alright, so... yeah, this whole top floor doesn't need any illumination. I can't remember, is this the settlement that I built the hospital? No, that was Sanctuary Royale. Okay. Because, yes, these can be bedrooms for your settlers or whatever, but they don't really need light. What else do we got? Oh, yes, we were going to decide whether or not we wanted to keep these buildings. I like them because they take up space. Do they need to be as tall? Let's take out a floor on this one. That way the red building is taller. What do you guys think? It's probably not going to change a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, or maybe it will. So I'm going to keep the roof, though, because if I remember correctly, the roof was a pain in the butt to build. But maybe if all I have to do is move it, it will save me some frustration. I don't know. There we go. Okay. So we should just keep it like this. It's brilliant. Brilliant architecture. Alright, so something tells me that's not right. Something tells me that that is right. Okay. Ooh, I can hear my computer really spinning. Maybe if I look this way, well, that won't help too because Boston's over there. I need to turn the sensitivity up on the controls. Is it under controls or is it under display or gameplay? Look sensitivity. A little better. I'm used to running pretty high sensitivity with my keyboard and mouse, but for the purposes of settlement building, keyboard and mouse were not in mind when they created the settlement controls. Like this game may have been available on PC at release, but it was definitely not built with PC in mind. Because the keyboard and mouse controls, like unless you're in first person and you're doing combat, like it's okay, but settlement building on keyboard mouse is awful. It's very awful. All right, so here, let's take a break and we will be back in a little bit.